Well, welcome back, folks. Part 2 of this decoder install on a On30 Climax. I finally got my order in of these decoders. One for this engine, and I haven't quite decided what I'm going to put the other one in. Anyway, we have our WOWSound Steam version 4, which comes with their new KA3. This Keep Alive module is slightly smaller than the KA2, which makes this installation work. The KA2 I don't believe would fit in there, but this one fits in there nicely. So first thing we're going to do, in the interest of space, is we have this let's see here, 7-pin connector that comes out of the back of the decoder. 2 of those wires go to the speaker, 2 wires to the Keep Alive, and the other 3, 2 of them are for lighting effects, and 1 is for a cam for the chuff, which I'm not going to use. So I'm going to cut those 3 wires off. Here again, just trying to save a little space in the bunker here, the locomotive. Set those out of the way. Alright, and I figure we can also, because everything's going to be stuffed in there, we can trim these down a little bit. I'm going to cut them down to 2.5 inches. Let's make it 3 inches. Give us, here again, just cutting down on the amount of wire that needs to be chucked inside there. So these need to be trimmed just a little bit. You only need a little bit of wire sticking out to solder onto the speaker. Now the speaker I got, their TCS, it's a TCS speaker with the baffle to go on it. Not really sure if I need the baffle with this engine, or the way the bunker is set up, but it'll fit, and it does supposedly increase the quality of the sound, so we'll go with it. So this has 2 little, I don't know if you can see them, 2 little holes there to put the wires through. Do that here. Alright, now we got to solder these. To the speaker here. Polarity apparently doesn't matter because they're both purple wires. Let's see here. Don't even know if my iron is hot enough yet. I just turned it on. Apparently it is. Alright. Beautiful. Take this one. Just a second. Put a couple of twists on this just to keep it from fraying. One would think I would be prepared for this, but apparently that would make too much sense. Anyway. It's too much. You have too much of this wire stripped. So I'm just going to bend it over a little bit like that. Is that one? Bend that one in half as well. It's one of those things you just don't want to have a short, because then your speaker won't work, and then you got to try to dig it all apart. And that's not a lot of fun. As thin as these wires are, they're nice and flexible, which helps greatly in the installation. Now let me let this warm up here a little bit. Alright, give this another shot. Okay. There. Little tiny speaker here, so gotta be a little cautious. Okay. Kind of very gently tuck that up in there. Now these smaller speakers from TCS have an adhesive ring on them, which I don't think is necessary to use, because I'm going to just put a couple of drops of glue to hold this mess in place. Probably just one drop. Yeah, let me... Now, of course, it's important to put this little speaker mount where it's going to fit and not block the bunk when you put it in. So be mindful of that. I think one little drop of glue there. One little drop of glue on this side. Should do quite nicely. Hold that there for a moment, let that set up. And it's set right up. Okay. So now, I'm going to plug this in to the back of the, make sure I get it the way around. They are keyed, so you can't plug it in backwards. I do like to double check. Alright, so that's in. Plug this one in. It's in there nice like it's supposed to be. Alright, so in theory, if I were to put this on the track, it would run. That moved on me. Of course it did. Of course it did. That's alright. We'll do it one more time. That's all right. It's quick setting, but not instant. I guess I should remember that. There. Now that'll stay. We'll let that set up a moment. So you recall we have these two connections here. And those go to the light. So we'll slide those on. And fasten this all in place. So now, let's see here. Let's go this one. It should go here. Let's just slide on nice and easy. Let's flip all this crap up out of the way here for a moment. Gotta get a little closer here. Some tweezers. All right. Take this conglomeration of wire in here. Make sure we don't pinch anything. There we go. There. All right. So now turn it over. We'll put the screws in that hold that bunk in place. My fingers are not small enough to do it. Snug that up. All right. There. So that's all in place. Now we can very carefully tuck these wires in. Very carefully, because there's not a whole lot of room. Which is why, as you recall, I cut them very small. Or short, I guess I should say. Small. Tuck these in here. Like so. Take this one. Turn this so you can kind of get an idea what I'm doing here. I guess I could trim these blue and black wires a little shorter to get them all, give me a little more space, but I think it's going to matter much in the end. I found that if you take this, put it on its flat side, the wide flat side down, some of these wires out of the way. Kind of tuck her down inside there. Then this, you know what's going to give me trouble is the wiring for the light is in the way. Alright, I see. So let's do this. Let's pull those up a little bit. See if we can't tuck this down underneath those wires. Like that. There we go. Perfect. And that doesn't get warm, which is good because there's not a lot of room in here. The decoder itself does get not hot, but when you're running and got the sound going, it does produce a little bit of heat. Got the lugs that the coal load snaps into, so we got to kind of work around those as well. We don't want to pinch anything in here. I'm not going to put the coal load on this engine. It's going to have a wood load at some point. Just finish tucking these wires down in there like that. And there we go. Ooh. Push one in and two come out. All right. So that there, not entirely 100% happy with the way that fits, but maybe I'll fiddle with it again, but it will work. Just like that. So I'll spin that around so you can see what I did. I don't know if that's clear enough for you, but the decoder's tucked in there. There we go. Decoder's tucked in there very carefully with the keep alive underneath. There's actually, it seems like a little less space on this engine than the Shea, simply because of your leads for the backup light. But that's okay. I made it work. You can too. Any questions? Put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.